Okay, so realistically, the part that I played in getting DE to at least look at and address the heirloom pack concerns we had was relatively small. The video that I put out may have been one of the first of many that were made by other people as well, and I may have beaten a lot of people to the punch on this one. And the reason why I wanted to do that is because I had a chance to put my money where my mouth is and actually do something and say something on behalf of the community. Now, again, I am not of the illusion that this change happened because of me. When you actually look at it, the combined voices of Reddit, the YouTube comment sections on the video for those heirloom skins, and other people making tweets, and their official forums and the Steam community forums far played a louder role than what I ever possibly could, including creators. Now, there are other creators that came out and they made videos on the Heirloom Collection issue. Some really good ones were from Nova Umbral and Gamble, Sabuchi, and Gaz TTV. The interesting thing is, 3 of us made the same Baldur's Gate 3 comparison. So, DE has seen all of the complaints and the concerns, and in typical DE fashion, when it comes to being called out like this so righteously, they release a statement and they take some action. They did this with the Regal Aya, thankfully, and they are now doing it with the Heirloom Collection. The problem is, personally I would say this is addressed, but I would say it's addressed with an asterisk at the end. Okay, let me clear some things up. I was getting comments on Twitter and in YouTube comment section on the video, and some comments that I'm just not approving because these people are like unhinged in what they're fucking saying. Some people were claiming that myself and others are crying about the price. I bought this pack within the first hour that it went live, immediately after TennoCon ended. I wanted a fair price for other people. That may have went over some people's heads. Some people say that we're complaining because we have to spend money in a free-to-play video game, or that we have an issue with cosmetics costing money. In the video that I made, you could see that I went over the Prime accessories that I have, the Prime Sciendanas I have. That doesn't show like Mesa Prime's alternative helmet. That doesn't show all of the Prime Sentinel accessories. It doesn't show the Prime Kubro armor that I have. It doesn't show the Prime Sigils, the Prime Sugatras, and I didn't even go over all of the Tennogen that I have, and I have a lot of Tennogen. I have absolutely no issue in supporting the developers, and because of the Tennogen, even other players in this game. And don't think of this as a way of me saying, wow, I've spent so much, look at me. Like, I'm not bragging here, it's just honestly, I have no problem supporting this game. Like, I like to do it. I like the product. There's a reason why I keep spending money on it. So the whole, oh, you don't like spending money on a free-to-play game, I've got no problem spending money on a free-to-play game. What I want is for them to make the pack more worth it, to increase its actual value, so other people buy it. That was the entire point. I wanted DE to make money. It's do you not understand? I thought I made that very clear. I want DE to be successful and profitable, because I want to keep playing their fucking game, and they can only do that if they develop it. The original concern that I had was that Pack 2 was just completely not worth it. It was only the skins. They've actually added some platinum there, so you can look at that, and I think it was 800 platinum now that they've added, so you get the profile badge, the 2 skins, and 800 platinum. You can look at that and you can say if that's worth it for you or not. Remember, the original video I made, I was only ever speaking from my personal view on justification, saying I could justify buying it. I can't speak for other people, and I still hold that claim. I can't speak for other people. Some of the other original concerns that we had were the fact that the skins themselves are not separate. You can't buy one without getting the other. That, unfortunately, still seems to be the case. So, I could say, these Warframes are good. It's okay that the skins are coupled. You should be playing both of them, and, you can't justify it like that. It is a shame that Frost and Mag skins are still linked and that they're not separate. I still don't understand why they can't just make separate packs, and, why they insist on keeping the packs linked. That doesn't make sense to me. it is kind of disappointing that they haven't separated the packs for somebody that only wants the frost skin or only wants the mag skin. Now, the Regal Aya, they still exist in the packs. Again, for myself, you know, I wasn't personally let down with my purchase because it had Regal Aya, because I did still want the Regal Aya, because I do plan on getting some accessories when Octavia Prime rolls around in Prime Resurgence. I'm like 1 in 100 people that probably give a shit about Regal Aya, and I'm not too sure. And even after I get those Octavia Prime accessories, I'm not going to care about Regal Aya anymore. People still have to look at these packs if they're going to buy them, and they still got to see the Regal Aya on there, and they've got to think, okay, is it worth it? I still make the argument that, you know, again, and a lot of people make this argument, the Regal Aya is just there to inflate the price of the pack. It's not worth it, and it is a shame that it's there. Moving forward, it looks like D is not removing the Regal Aya from this pack. I didn't even want them to remove the Regal Aya from this pack. I just don't want them to increase the price of something and justify it by putting Regal Aya in there, which is what they have done with the Heirloom packs. Another one of the concerns regarding this pack was the FOMO aspect. So, for those who don't know, FOMO is an acronym for fear of missing out. And essentially what it is, an entity will create something and make it very attractive to try and entice you to purchase it. However, they do this thing where they force it to be either, oh, limited stock, or get it while it lasts, or in this case, get it before the absolute end of the year. Otherwise, it's going away and never coming back. So what it's trying to do is it's trying to pressure you into making the purchase under the guise of, if you don't get it while it's going, it's gone, and you'll never get it. And you're going to be left wanting if you wanted it. It's going to give you the fear of missing out. Some companies will use FOMO as a way to justify increasing the price of a product. I can say honestly, I don't believe DE is actually using FOMO and weaponizing it to increase the price of the heirloom packs. The problem is the FOMO should not be there. They did not address the FOMO aspect of this, which is unfortunate. They really are trying to treat this as Founders Pack 2.0. So this is the cosmetic equivalent of Excalibur Prime, Leto Prime, and Skarner Prime. Some people may remember them saying that they will never do something like this again. Do remember they also said that they won't be selling ephemeras. And we have 3 prime ephemeras that you can only get by buying them. So they kind of have just gone back on the word on that one, which is disappointing. I do still hope that they make it somewhere down the line, even if they're not going to talk about it right now. I hope that somewhere down the line, they just put a fast one and you're like, yeah, fuck it, bro, watch this, and just put it live again so people can buy it. I want other people to be able to look at these packs and say, hey, this is worth it, I'm gonna buy it. I want to see people using these dope skins. I want to see people having fun with these cosmetics. I want to see people supporting the fucking developers. Some people seem to got this idea that I was against spending money, and it's like, oh my god, these people are dumb. What I and many others were hoping was that they would make the packs cheaper and then probably retroactively compensate those who already owned them. When I read what they had done, where they just like increased the platinum prices and actually put platinum in tier 2 but kept the prices the same, I was like, they listened, but they covered one of their ears. And I don't know, to me that was pretty funny. It's disappointing, but at the time that was pretty funny. I was just like, fuck. They technically did what we wanted them to do, just not the way we wanted them to do it. The price of the packs are exactly the same. It's just they are slightly more valuable now because they have increased the platinum you get, and the tier 2 pack, they've actually added platinum. So, you know, if you were originally looking at these packs just like, oh, I want to get them, but I can't really justify the price, I'm not going to tell you to buy them. I'm going to tell you to have a look at them now. Have another look and say, you know, is this worth it for me? And if it's not, then believe me when I say I'm on your side, that it fucking sucks. Even at the end of this heirloom pack period, at the end of the year, when they become completely unobtainable, in a year's time, if they came back and they made them available for platinum, as somebody that spent money on them, I wouldn't give a shit. Hell, if they fucked around and did something wild and make it like, oh, this is 4,000 ducats at Barrow, and it only comes like twice a year after a year's exclusive period, or after 6 months exclusive period, or even after 30 days exclusive period, I wouldn't care. If there was a more accessible way for people to get them, I wouldn't give a shit. And I'm not saying this like I want people to have workarounds of getting stuff so they can absolutely not support the developers whatsoever. You know, I want them to be able to have avenues to get the shit that I get. Fashion frame is an important aspect of the game. You know, people like to make their shit look good. People like to look at the characters, bro. It's part of the culture of the game, all right? It's... You gotta face that. At the end of the day, you can't really just write off cosmetics as being cosmetics. It is a legitimate part of the game. I'm not one of those guys that's like fashion frame is end game, you know, because end game is end game. If it wasn't important, I'd be running around looking the same on every fucking Warframe, bro. We would all be wearing like pitch black and the brightest, sharpest red. If it was that simple, we wouldn't have made such a stink about it. I'd like to wrap this one up by saying my original concerns weren't the fact that I paid so much, or the fact that I paid so much and didn't get enough. My original concerns, and other people's original concerns, is that the tier 2 pack was just the skins, no color palette. The tier 1 pack is no skins, but the color palette. There are no packs to individually get either skin. This is timed exclusivity, so at the end of the year it's gone. You'll never get anything that's in the packs again. The color palette you can kind of work around. The price is still artificially inflated up by Regal Aya. The prices themselves are still considerably high depending on, well, your point of view on what a high price is. For me, I would say they're actually pretty high. They're pretty expensive, honestly. They kind of addressed it. They're adding platinum or increasing the platinum, but that's really all they're doing. I don't know if they're going to do another pass at this. I don't think they will. It's still kind of disappointing. I have read so many comments on my video of people saying, well, first of, I've fucking read all of, but I've read so many of people saying that they can't justify buying it. You know, they wanted either just a frost skin or just a mag skin, and it sucks that they're not going to be able to enjoy these skins because they are really nice looking. I want current players, old players, and new players alike to have a access path to everything in the game, because I think it's kind of silly if there's something that they're not going to have access to. It seems that is not the world that we live in, at least not for this round of the Heirloom collection. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you could agree with some of the points that I made in the previous video and this one. If not, let me know. Don't think that if I do respond to you and it looks a little bit harsh, like I'm actually really mad and fuming and screaming at you internally. I'm just putting my opinion out on your opinion, and then at the end of the day I don't give a fuck. I'm just gonna move on, kind of like you guys do, because, you know, there's more to life than arguing on the fucking internet. So thanks for watching, guys, and remember, you're welcome. I'm kidding. Alright, later. Even if I didn't get the benefits, what the fuck?